Welcome everyone to another video. I'm your host Jahmy, and today we're going to be talking about State of Decay 3. For those of you who don't know, State of Decay is a zombie game franchise with 2 current games and a third one confirmed to be on the way. As for the release date of the third, we have no official confirmation or a set date, but we can expect this game to get some more news or trailers this year. And we will actually see some more in-depth gameplay reveals in the next year for State of Decay 3. The last we saw of this game was the trailer that was released in 2020. And today I'm going to be discussing why State of Decay 3 could be the greatest zombie game ever made, or at least one of. If you want to know why or are a fan of State of Decay, then keep watching. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it will greatly help out the channel. So let's just dive into it. Now, one of the best zombie games ever is a pretty hefty statement, considering we have a wide range of great zombie games, ranging from action-packed fun like the Left 4 Dead franchise, DayZ, and my personal favourite, the Dying Light franchise, to great story-intensive games like Resident Evil franchise, The Last of Us 1, we don't talk about 2, we don't, and Days Gone, another great game which was unfortunately butchered by bad reviews that it did not deserve. So what makes the potential of State of Decay 3 on the level of these great games, or even above? Firstly, it's the originality of State of Decay. In a highly saturated and way overdone genre such as zombies, there are thousands of games, but only few make it to the top. Why is this? This is due to the lack of originality that many of these games have. The majority of zombie games are just lackluster and provide nothing unique to the experience. Just shoot zombies and that's it. But State of Decay was different. State of Decay was the first zombie game that allowed you to build your own community in a post-apocalyptic open world zombie environment. State of Decay was a realistic example of what it is like being in a zombie apocalypse. Gathering resources, acquiring new bases, recruiting new survivors, and allocating each survivor a task. One of the standout features of State of Decay 2 is the robust community management system. Players must establish and maintain a group of survivors, each with unique skills and personalities. Balancing their needs, relationships, and specialized abilities adds a layer of depth to the overall survival experience. The sense of attachment to these characters is also real. When they die, it's like losing a family member, as their well-being directly impacts your progress, and you've taken the time to get their skills up, so when they die, it's tough. But that system isn't a bad thing, in fact it's a great thing, because having that system is what makes each character so valuable to you and keeps you on the edge of your seat. The game's open world design allows for exploration across multiple diverse maps, each presenting their own challenges and resources. The dynamic day and night cycle and the ever-present threat of a zombie horde keeps the players on their toes, contributing to a tense and immersive atmosphere. Resource scarcity forces strategic decision making, and every item and ally becomes a valuable asset, which is similar to how it would be if a zombie apocalypse was to occur in real life. Now this is all good, but what makes State of Decay 3 special? Well, to find that out, let's look at State of Decay 2. The game is not without its flaws, and it has quite a few. Firstly, there are many technical issues, ranging from the frame rate drops to the occasional glitches, and it can detract from the overall experience. The graphics, while serviceable, lack the polish seen in other titles, but State of Decay 3 is actually made in Unreal Engine 5, so be ready for some stunning visuals, already an instant improvement. The combat mechanics, though improved from the first installment, can feel clunky at times, hindering the fluidity of engagements. The camera work is also not that great, and their movement just does not feel fluid. All things that will be getting improved in State of Decay 3. It's actually confirmed that State of Decay 3 will be getting some improved parkour systems, so I can't wait to see how that works out. Now, the repetitive nature of the gameplay is another drawback. Missions often fall into the cycle of looting, defending the base, and rescuing survivors. And while this formula does align with the survival genre, it may leave players craving some more variety and innovation over an extended play session. And in my opinion, this is the main reason State of Decay 2 didn't reach its full potential. But its full potential will hopefully show in State of Decay 3. The multiplayer in State of Decay 2 was really disappointing. You couldn't even go more than 50 meters away from your teammate without being tethered back to the host. The multiplayer in State of Decay 2 was very much just helping the host on their base and their gameplay, instead of shared progress, which was another major flaw in the co-op experience. I mentioned the open world environment, and there are many relatively decent sized maps to explore, but what I think would be amazing in State of Decay 3 is, rather than having several smaller maps, we have one massive world, Project Zomboid or DayZ style. I think that the base building in State of Decay 2 was also flawed. The base building wasn't fully base building, it was simply purchasing an already built premises and then adding facilities in set areas. State of Decay 3 should introduce us to a more customizable base that allows for the installation of defenses and new built structures. If State of Decay 3 improves upon these flaws I mentioned, which I believe it will, and more, with the improved graphics we have a major contender for the best zombie game coming up. The development of State of Decay 3 has taken a really long time, and for no other reason than the fact that they are adding so much new content for this third game. I mean, these guys are going all in every aspect of the game. They're even adding improved parkour, as I mentioned earlier, but in particular they are going to be greatly expanding upon the multiplayer aspect of the game. So who knows, State of Decay 3 might actually be an MMO game with many players in one world, just like in DayZ. So that would be crazy and something I would love to see in the game. I can just imagine building a community with the other players online in an MMO environment. I say with the other players online, but it could end up being against them. And the MMO aspect has actually got some evidence to back it up, as there was a job role posted for Undead Labs in which they were looking for developers with experience in online games and live game system maintenance. In the words of a developer working on State of Decay 3, State of Decay 1 was just a small team, State of Decay 2 was a mid-sized team, but State of Decay 3 is a huge team working on the game. And in case you guys didn't know, the developers of State of Decay used to be just an indie team, but now they are a full AAA team, so we can expect a much larger expansion to the franchise. So from all accounts, these devs are really trying to make State of Decay 3 the very best post-apocalyptic game we've ever seen. It is really that ambitious, and I for one am here for it. Do you think they can pull it off? I can't put into words how excited I am for the release of this game, and I will most definitely be keeping up to date with the progress of this game's development. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you're excited for State of Decay 3, then let me know in the comments. And also be sure to join my Discord, and I will leave a link to it down in the description. See ya.